Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you this mid-afternoon, and this is going to be a premiere video for tomorrow for like 3:30 or 4 o'clock, depending on when I decide to premiere it. So it's probably going to be 4 p.m. tomorrow, so late mid-afternoon, I guess you could say. So this is for a re-review for the second to last Godsmack album review I'm going to be doing. This is for their sixth studio album, 1,000 Horsepower, that I just got done listening to for all 10 tracks plus the bonus track, which is called Life is Good. So, I'm going to discuss what I listened to for a total of all 11 songs and let you know my thoughts on this re-review that I'm going to be doing for you guys. I know I did the 1,000 Horsepower album review years ago, but this is an updated version on where I'm at with this album in 2022. So, yeah, let's dive right into this Godsmack 1,000 horsepower, 1,000 horsepower re-review. So it starts with 1,000 horsepower, and off the bat, it's a pretty rockin' track for sure. I really like this song. I like some of the lyrics. I don't know if I'm on board with, but other than that, the track rocks for sure. Sully Erna sounds really good singing, and with his heavy, angry vocals, sound really good with the angsty vocals and his voice and all that with this song. And the guitar work and drum work is pretty heavy too. So this was a pretty well done track. So 5 out of 5. Fuck My Life, also known as FML. That's what FML stands for, Fuck My Life. Pretty good track. Really enjoyed the second song on the album. And this is the second song on the album, and it's pretty well done with how it's sounding overall. Sully Erna's vocals in it, in my opinion. Sorry, my nose is a little itchy. That's why I'm rubbing it a bit and itching it. Yeah, Sully Erna's vocals in it are pretty good, and just his angsty, aggressive vocals from time to time, depending on the area in the song, sounds really good. The verses are strong, the chorus is pretty interesting and catchy. So, really liking this track, 5 out of 5. Something Different was a pretty good song in my opinion. It is more melodic and heavy at the same time, but it combines well with what they're going for with this track. So I personally like this song. It is over a 4.5 minute track, but it is really well executed with the guitars and drum work and Sully singing in it, and his vocals range really high in this track. And in the next album, it ranges even higher, depending on the songs, of course. So, yeah, Something Different's gonna get a 5 out of 5 for me. What's Next is my personal favorite track, along with Living in the Gray as well. So I have a couple personal favorite songs on this album, three in particular. Um, the third one would be Nothing Comes Easy, but I'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah, What's Next was pretty fast paced and heavy for sure. I really dig this track. Um, I really dug this track with how it sounded too, and just the execution of the drums, the guitar work, and Sully Erna's vocals in it are pretty well done. So really enjoyed this track. So 5 out of 5. Generation Day was a very lengthy song. It was like over 6 minutes, but it was well worth listening to. I really enjoyed this song. Um, Sully Erna sounds really good vocally in this track, and just the execution of the track and it's how it's performing and how it sounds overall. Pretty interesting song. So really like the lyrics too on this song as well. Not on this album, on this song, I meant to say. Still, some of the lyric choices on the album has its good and weak moments, depending on the areas in the song, each song and all that, but still. I'll give this song a 5 out of 5. Locked and Loaded, pretty well done track. I really enjoyed this song. Sully Erna sounds really interesting, aggressively vocals wise. He sounds really good with his vocals, and just angsty too with his vocal range and all that. So it's pretty interesting of a track and pretty heavy too. So really enjoyed this song for what it was going for. So 5 out of 5. Living in the Gray was my personal favorite song. I really like how it's sounding overall. Some of the lyrics, yeah, tend to be a bit tenacious or something like that. I'm trying to think of the right word to say for it, but sorta iffy, depending on which part in the verses sound good. But when the chorus comes in, that's where it shines, with Sully singing in it. And I like the lyrics, not everything is always black or white, and sometimes we're living in the gray. And it's pretty interesting lyric. Really like that lyric for the song and all that. And when he raises his voice really high, living in the gray kind of thing, it sounds really good. So 5 out of 5 for Living in the Gray. I Don't Belong is another great song. I wasn't sure if I was on board with this track, but it's really well done. So really like this track. 5 out of 5. Nothing Comes Easy is probably at the top of my least favorites, or not least favorites, personal favorites, I meant to say. I'm getting my words mixed up, so please forgive me. I didn't mean to say least favorites. I meant to say personal favorites. It's probably at the third spot, and What's Next is number 2, and Living in the Gray is my personal favorite song off this album. But I do like the guitar work in this track, Nothing Comes Easy. It's pretty well done, and just how it's sounding overall, it did pretty well over me. So 5 out of 5 for Nothing Comes Easy. Sorry if I'm slurring with my wording, it's just trying to make sure I don't screw up on this video, but I don't know. I'll just see how it does. But still, 5 out of 5 for Nothing Comes Easy. Turning to Stone is the final track on the regular edition, and it was a pretty well done song, meaning well executed, well received, and just how it's sounding instrumentally, it's pretty good, and Sully Erna singing in it is pretty good. There is some experimentation with the Congo drums in this track, but it sounds good for what it's going for. So 5 out of 5. Life is Good is the bonus track on this 1000 horsepower album, and it's my least favorite. I think it's average in my opinion, but because of the lyrics being a little cheesy and cringe on this song, but drum wise and guitar wise, it's pretty good. But Sully Erna just made this a filler song. So, yeah, 3.5 out of 5 for this one. Overall, production, mixing, and execution wise, I think Godsmack's 1000 horsepower re-review for this re-review I did for you guys, it's a pretty good album. I really enjoyed this one. Another heavy album, but the last song for the bonus track on the Best Buy edition is my least favorite, because Life is Good is the Best Buy edition bonus track. So yeah, I just wasn't a fan of Life is Good. It's just got some cringy lyrics on the song, and the verses are not bad, but when the chorus comes in, it just is full of cringe. But it's an average track with the instrumentation in some of the verses. But other than that, I'm not a huge fan of Life is Good. But still, pretty good album, and first score for me, I'm giving Godsmack 1000 horsepower re-review an 8.5 out of 10. So it was a really good album. It's pretty good for what it went for. Definitely recommend checking it out, and yeah, that's going to be it for this re-review for Godsmack 1000 horsepower. Comment below, Let me know what you guys thought of the Godsmack 1000 horsepower. If you enjoyed this review, and if you enjoyed this re-review for 1000 horsepower by Godsmack, comment below and let me know your thoughts on it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can. Support the channel. This re-review is premiering tomorrow at 4 p.m. On Monday the 10th. So definitely tune into this premiere video. It's not too much longer till it comes out. So hopefully you'll enjoy it for what I did, what I could do with this review. I know I slurred with my wording and messed up with some wording in this video, and I terribly apologize for that. I'm just, my head's in a weird space right now. But I'm doing okay. Just, I mess up with some of my wording some of the time, so hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. But still, hope you enjoyed this Godsmack 1000 horsepower re-review. I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. The final re-review is going to be for When Legends Rise, and that's going to be on October 12th. So definitely tune into that re-review for that. I hope you enjoyed this re-review for 1000 horsepower by Godsmack. Stay safe, take care, and as always, I will see you in my next review.